180. 54. I got it. Check. Check out.
They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Right there. 54, Mike. I'm scared. Hey, Orbit. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the run.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55. Watch the run.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
1st down, Cowboys.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 19. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness, one cut and he goes, that's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Dak Prescott, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Just like that. Hey, alert. Check. Hey, zoom. You ain't going nowhere. Right there.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting has taken over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
27, 26, under. Hey, kill.
Prescott from the gun. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Eddie Goldman coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Maher able to put this one through. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move, the Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, Haywood.
Now it's Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
First down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I know you ain't got it.
Now it's Trubisky. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 29, Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
And that's their 1st sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
I want to work. I want to work. 54. Hey, exit. 54. Exit.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky trying to lay. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On second down, it's Elliott. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Prescott from the gun on third. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Let's get it. Double dog. That's the way. Whip. Watch the whip. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on fourth down. Running with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 25th touchdown, tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Going deep this time for Miller. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
This is Elliott. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Pass on target, Prescott to Cooper. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Looking to throw, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. He wants it all for the end zone. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Brings up 3rd down.
50. Here we go. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Check the...
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
First down, Cowboys.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
A first down throw for Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. On play action, Prescott. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Leonard Floyd, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Prescott. going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, third and long. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And an alley to run. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. The kick by Maher is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been threes.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener.
And now here is another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
It's easy work. It's coming again.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
They go to Elliott again. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Trubisky, middle of the field, it's Robinson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can right foot in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 31-yard line. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. First down, a run with Cohen. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Rip right, rip right. Lock in, lock in. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Hey, Delta. Check, 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 check. Delta.
Now Trubisky to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Here we go, G. Get off the field. 54 is Mike. 54. Hey, high 7. 54. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
Trubisky will throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Check 4, check 4.
They'll run with Elliott, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Check Mike 39. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache. Under 26.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
A 50-yard attempt.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing on 2nd and long. Trubisky. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's Austin. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that?